Natasha and my channel is called Creative Pet Keeping. Today I'm going to answer the question, what made me start my fish keeping channel? So originally, as the name Creative Pet Keeping might kind of give you a little hint, my channel was not actually about fish. Originally I wanted to focus on creative pet care, and my first ever videos were about my guinea pigs and how I wanted to create better cages for them when I decided to upgrade them from a generic cage you buy at the store that became a closet cage, and then later on I ended up building them an 8-foot fortress, which is really awesome. I've also made videos about cats and dogs and gerbils, and it's been really fun making all of those videos over the years. But as soon as I started making fish videos, what happened was everyone really wanted to watch those, and over time, through everyone's demand, my channel became a fish channel. And I'm kind of cool with that because I really enjoy the fish keeping side of the hobby. It's a lot of fun. I really like it a lot, and as much as I love other pets and as much as I would like to incorporate other pets into my channel, maybe in the future I will, I'm totally happy with the direction that YouTube kind of took me on a little journey, and I wouldn't change it for a thing.
So what made me want to start a fish keeping channel? I guess the short answer is you guys, y'all, the fish fam, the people watching this right now. Just the support and the encouragement that I've gotten from you has kept me going. I would say getting my start, I just really wanted to keep a log of what I was doing in the fish room, or the fish house rather. I was still kind of new, so just like, here's my tanks, here's what I got going on in here. Maybe get some feedback from people on forums and stuff, and I can just link to the video so they could, see what was going on. And I decided pretty early on that maybe I should do like a showcase video for each of the tanks I have in my house. And so that meant I should open up a video editing program and kind of learn the basics and, just make something sort of polished, at least not just a quick and dirty video. And I don't know what happened, but when I opened up this video editing program, I just started to get really silly with it as I was learning little tricks and stuff you could do. I wanted to express myself in a different way. And I mean, growing up, I've always been a creative person. I like to paint and draw. I've always played music for decades. Back in the 90s, I got a camcorder and made a bunch of claymation videos with like my action figures and of course clay and just that kind of stop motion stuff. In college, I wanted to be a writer. I wrote a lot of short stories. I worked on a book. I was the editor of a paper. I wrote humor columns. And I realized as I was making these videos, these fish keeping videos, that I haven't been able to express myself in that way in a long time. So, I mean, I would say that's how I got my start, was just loving it, having fun. But people started to watch them. I started getting subscribers and more views. And I mean, I'm like 2 subscribers to 4 subscribers. And then, one day I had 10 and maybe 15 views on a video, which was a lot for me because, I wasn't really like marketing myself at the time. So yeah, I just kept doing it. And then I started getting comments. And then, when you think YouTube comments, you're like, oh, here we go. Here's the trolls, the people who don't like my voice or the way I look or the way the tanks look, the fish police stuff. But I was wrong. The comments were very encouraging, very friendly. And, at the time, I didn't realize that I was meeting the fish fam. And that in itself has kept me going. Just making friends in this hobby, like meeting these people online and then meeting them in person. And so many of them that I can truly call very close friends. And maybe that's not related to the whole creativity side of making the videos, but they are my friends, and I'm kind of the jokester and the entertainer among friends a lot of times. And so I kind of feel like this is what I do now, is I make these ridiculous YouTube videos with the rap songs and the silly unboxings and all the little jokes and stuff. So thanks everybody for your support, and hope I'll see you all later.
Hi, I'm Carrie with Gal Aquatics, and today I'm super excited because I get to help answer the question, what made you start your own fish keeping channel? And I will have to say it's not really the coolest story, but I went back to school and I was working on getting my biology degree, and I was working with guppies for my senior project. And just taking the experiment out of it, I could not understand why the sand substrate aquariums were doing so much better, and no one could help me. So it led me to researching, and I found the Fish Fam community on YouTube. And I had no idea there was people out there like me that just loved fish so much. And one thing led to another, and I found myself wanting to share my story and my journey of fish keeping with the community too, and it was so completely outside my comfort zone. I had never even thought about doing anything like this, but I am so glad that for some reason I pushed myself to start posting videos and sharing my journey with fish, and it's just been fantastic. So wasn't really the coolest story, but it was absolutely the best decision I have ever made. And I get to be here answering this question, so thank you so much. I'm Carrie with Gal Aquatics, and that's how I started this channel.
G'day Zach, Aquafinity, and everybody else watching. So thanks for inviting me to come on to this simple fish keeping topic. And it's a really interesting question, I think, what made me get into actually making fish videos. Well, first of all, I was a huge digester of a lot of fish-related YouTube content. I was always on YouTube, even 5+ years before I ever had a fish tank. I didn't ever think of making videos on my own, just because I thought nobody would watch them. But the reason I started to make them was actually to document things for myself. At the time, I probably had 20 or 30 fish tanks, and I'm right into breeding fish, so it was mainly just a bit of a record or a diary for myself, so I could keep up with the species that I was keeping breeding and whatnot for future. So I thought it'd be fun, 5-10 years down the track, I could check up all my old videos and take a bit of a look, which I still do to this day. But after uploading a few videos, then I noticed that there was a really strong community of nice people, and everyone was leaving really positive comments. After that, I connected with a bunch of the other Australian aquarium YouTubers, and I just noticed that the network was really awesome. There was barely any negativity whatsoever, so that's what got me right into it. And after that, I just started to watch a lot of other people's live streams, get to know some people, and yeah, it's just gone from there. So if you are thinking about doing your own fish-related content, I would say first of all, do it because you enjoy it, do it for fun, and I definitely did that myself. And don't do it for money or to get famous or anything like that, because it's extremely unlikely, especially these days, that either of those two things are going to happen. In fact, I often tell people that you'd be better off getting a part-time job at a supermarket or something rather than making YouTube videos if you want to get rich, because you have to put a lot of hours into making content before you really see anything back. So that's why I made videos, document things for myself, and I'm really happy to have stumbled on what I did. So I'm excited to see what everybody else's responses are, but that's the one for me. Thanks again.
What made you want to start a fish keeping channel? So for me, I had motivation from a friend of mine. Her name is Jess, Maid's Tales Fern Fins. I hadn't thought of starting a fish keeping channel in the beginning. I mean, I thought of it every now and then, but I didn't really want to show my face. And I knew if I didn't show my face, I probably wouldn't get that far in a YouTube channel. I didn't really want to show my face because I'm a kid and this is social media. So one day Jess was streaming and I don't even remember at this point, but she said something and then I wanted to start a fish keeping channel. So she kind of gave me the motivation and that push that I needed. And then I asked my parents if I could start a YouTube channel, and they said yes. And I didn't show my face for like a couple months, but once I did, I didn't regret it because the Fish Fam is very supportive, and there was no way that, well, there wasn't a whole lot of trolls. There's only a couple trolls every now and then, in my streams, but other than that, it's something that, looking back now, I definitely would not regret doing. So if you're looking to do a YouTube or a fish keeping channel, I definitely suggest it because it's super fun. And it does take up some time, but it is worth it. So that's what made me start my fish keeping channel.
So why am I doing YouTube? This video says it all. It is a slog in the mud. It is trying to prevent falling over, drowning, making a mess. It is holding on, struggling through, trying hard to get out of the mud and back on land. And it's tough. I'm here to tell you it's tough. Why am I doing it? Well, I spent 15 years running a store. It's really a fish room, all about creating deep substrate in my tanks. 15 years. Learned a lot. Shut it down and decided, now I want to teach it. I want to teach people what I've learned over the last 15 years doing deep substrates, dirted substrates. And that's what I'm doing. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Hello everybody, this is Skipper's Aquariums, and Aquafinity had asked me a question. What made you want to start your own fish keeping channel? Honestly, curiosity. So it all started, I'll try to make it short and sweet, is I also like to work on small engines. I know it has nothing to do with fish, but anytime I had a question, I typed it in, found a video, fixed it if I didn't know, what I was doing. And obviously, if I'm doing that, I didn't know what I was doing. So I started a tank up that I got off of a buddy of mine that had passed away. And I wanted to get back into it because I did it for a while when I was a kid. So I had a question. I was like, I don't think the way I did it whenever I was a kid was right. So what I did was I went to YouTube. I figured, you know what? If it works for lawnmowers, it probably should work for fish. And would you know, the first question I put in there, don't ask me now because I don't remember, because it's been since 2018. And I asked a question, typed it in, and I had all these videos. And I'm like, wow. So after I got my question answered and I started getting into, setting that tank up and just started learning stuff, I started finding other channels that are putting these videos up and then live streams. I said, well, what the heck? I'm just going to try it. So I tried it, and I've been doing it since I believe it was 2018, probably 19 actually, that I just said, I'm going to tell people what works for me. I never say this is what you need to do. This is what works for me. So I figured, why not put content out there and just see what happens? And it's more, I always like helping people out. So I said, what the heck? I'm just going to do it. And come to find out, a lot of my videos have been helpful. A lot of them I show, what fish I got. But when I come up with an idea or I do something different than what other people done and it has worked for me, I post a video. Just to put it out there. Whoever watches it, watches it. But that's what I did. So that's the answer to my question. I want to thank Aquafinity for giving me the opportunity to give him my answer to the question that he had asked me. Alright, everybody have a good day, good night, and goodbye.